Hi there. Welcome back to Askamy. I have a question today from Monisha. She says, thank you for your work. I was with you in the Little School of Big Change in 2022, and it helped me a lot, so thank you for that. My question is, my sister lashes out at me now and then and has for many years. I can see that she's totally caught up in what she believes about me and that what I feel in the moment is coming from my thoughts about what happens. I can let it go quite quickly, and sooner or later she comes back again and doesn't talk about what happened like it never happened, but she can be quite mean when she lashes out. So this is confusing for me. When is it time to say enough is enough and move on? And when is it just time to see what happens and accept that this is how it is? She lashes out and then she's nice to me again. So thank you for sending your question. And I think I want you to kind of see the way the question is sort of posed is in as if there are these two kind of opposite extremes, and they're very about what you do. That, you know, they're behavioral based. Like, do I say enough is enough and move on, one end, or do I, other end, accept it and let it go? So right there in this question, and I'm just pointing this out for you to see, like, this is showing why it's so confusing, because the mind is like, what do I do? This or that, this or that, this or that. And first of all, really, when we're wanting to see more about all this, it's never a what do I do? The doing, whatever, you're going to do whatever the heck makes sense. We want to keep seeing, like, how can I be with this? What is really going on here? How can I be in this experience, this habitual experience where she does this stuff? You say you can let it go pretty easily, which is great. But then there's something there for you that's saying, yeah, but I need to do something about it. Yeah, but it keeps happening. So anyway, when the mind frames this as what do I do, there's definitely a thing to do. And then it gives us these two options, which are kind of opposite extremes from each other. We want to be really suspicious of that. That is always, that's how thought is just trying to solve its own problem. Thought is trying to figure this out. And that's why it's confusing. So I have absolutely no idea what you should do. And I could never tell you, and you really could almost never even tell yourself, whether, okay, the thing I should do is enough is enough, or the thing I should do is accept it and move on. It might arise like that for you, but even that, I just want you to get a feel for this. Even that would be the mind coming to some conclusion. This is the answer. This is the best way, or the better way, or the right way. This is the answer. This is what I'm going to do. So just kind of see that in a way, and I'm so glad you asked the question this way, because it's the way it's showing up, but it's not really an answerable question. It's kind of looking a little bit in a not so helpful direction. So what might feel best for you in any given moment could be anything. And it really doesn't matter. Now, this is kind of hard to explain, but this is where I want you to kind of see if you can get a deeper feel for this. Usually when we're wanting to know, like, the right thing or the best thing or what do I do, there's maybe one or more of a few things going on. There's like, oh, there's a better way or there's a right way to handle this in order to get her to change. Or there's a better way or a right way to handle this in order for me to be at peace. Like, so you look for yourself and see what the in order to is. In other words, if you didn't care, if you knew for sure this is just how she is, she can't be any other way, this is just what she does, it's never going to change. If you knew that, and I'm just going to play with these two, and let's say you also knew it's fine. I can be at peace either way. I can be at peace with her continuing this pattern, not continuing this pattern. There's nothing on how things are arising that needs to be changed. If you knew that, And just really sit with this and play with, like expand to this and play with this in your own mind. Then what? So that takes off the table, oh, what should I do so that she'll change? Let's just assume she's not going to change. And what should I do so that I can be at peace? Let's assume your peace is inevitable. It's just right there when you're not in your head trying to figure out what to do and how to fix this. So neither of those are really at play here. If that were the case, that she's just going to be herself forever, which is likely, she might change, but nothing you do is going to make her change. She's just going to be herself for as long as she's herself. And as this arises, you'll have whatever experience you have. Sometimes you might be really frustrated. Sometimes you might blow it off. Like you said, which I think is amazing, I can let it go quite quickly. Sometimes you just let it go and you just know, okay, this is what she does. This is the pattern. No big deal. That's already happening, I'm sure. It sounds like, right? She's doing her thing and you're having all kinds of different experiences arise around it. Like, what needs to be managed in that? What needs to be changed in that? Why does it matter, or what does your mind really need to find a way to handle this? Or can it be like you're just in life without a master plan, without I need to fix this, the best way to be with my issue, without any of that. You're just showing up in life, and sometimes she's yelling at you and sometimes you're fine with it, and sometimes she's yelling at you and sometimes you feel horrible about it, but you're doing what makes sense in the moment. You aren't needing to look ahead and bring in a plan or a strategy or ask for one. Like, what if you can kind of just be with it in that way? And even that, I'm not giving you that as a plan, but I really want you to see this is where we get so caught up. It's so innocent and it's really pretty simple. We think we need to fix things. Like, we think I have this issue, this recurring issue with my sister, which you do. It's not the most comfortable. It's not the relationship you'd love to have, but it is what it is. You're not going to change her. So can you be in what's arising and just be there fresh and do what makes sense? And honestly, that might be in a moment, okay, enough is enough, I'm out of here. That doesn't mean for the rest of your lives. It might mean that, and that might be obvious to you at some point, or it might be for a minute. It might be for a month, a week, who knows? Sometimes it'll be like, it won't be like, oh, I need to accept this. It'll just be like, okay, here's, okay, this is what she's doing. She's doing her thing. Like, it'll be however it is. And then all you have to do is just whatever is absolutely natural to you, whatever occurs to you to do, totally naturally, no better, worse, no thinking about it. And in that, things are kind of seen, perhaps. Like maybe a new way of being with this starts to emerge. I have no idea. Or some acceptance that you don't have to force, or like, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But see if you can get a sense for this very, I know, vague and not formulaic kind of way of being in this. And your mind might be saying, no, I need an answer. I need a path. I need a decision. And if that's the case, that's okay. If your mind says I need a decision, then it'll find one. It might just need a break, or you might take a break from her. Who knows what's going to happen? But even that, you aren't going to need to make that happen. That is going to arise if that's what's arising. So see if you can kind of take this little backward step and watch this all unfold. And again, it's easier when you can take off the table the possibility of doing the right thing so that she changes. Not likely. Or again, her change might be likely, but you're not going to make it happen. Or the possibility of doing the right thing so you always feel good. Definitely not going to happen. You're going to feel all kinds of stuff. So we widen it, and then in that, anything's okay. Anything's allowed to be there. And action just arises, and it's perfect. Not in the traditional sense of perfect as in good or bad, but it's like it's the only thing that could happen. It's like what there obviously is to do in that moment. So I hope that helps. I know it's pointing away from the mind, what you're asking, kind of the mind strategy and plan for things, but see if something in that lands, and let me know, and hopefully it's helpful. Send your questions to askamy@thelittleschoolofbigchange.com, and I'll see you back here next time. Bye, everyone.